Star Wars collectible. Well, my search is over, and look at what I've found. It's an exact replica of Luke Skywalker's lightsaber. Don't let it fall into enemy hands.
There are a lot of hardcore collectors out there that I've been looking for original reproductions of props. They've been, going to conventions and that sort and buying, fake rip-offs, that sort of thing. Said they were based on original, and this is as close to probably the original as you're ever going to find. And it has achieved that status that this type of collectible can and will sustain its value and probably go up just because of the popularity of the film.
From Icon's authentic replicas comes a never-before-offered collector's treasure, the limited edition Skywalker Lightsaber. These custom-made reproductions are based on the original lightsaber given to young Luke Skywalker in the first Star Wars movie by his venerable teacher and Jedi Knight, Obi-Wan Kenobi.
The lightsaber we like to call an aerospace experience because we used a lot of aerospace firms locally, including satellite manufacturers, to assist us in fabricating our lightsaber prototype line. The Skywalker lightsaber consists of 37 individual parts. And you'll notice that a lot of these are very, very minute and were very difficult to recreate.
Icon's research and design group were given unprecedented access inside the Lucasfilm archives, where the original artifacts were photographed and measured. After examining the crown jewels of this American myth, a team of professional prop makers, designers, and special effects artists then went to work to craft and create an exact replica of the lightsaber. Fans and collectors have waited 20 years for official, perfect replicas from Star Wars, and now the wait is over with the Skywalker Lightsaber. Direct from the vaults of Lucasfilm's Skywalker Ranch, now you can own a piece of film history. This numbered and limited edition collectible is licensed by Lucasfilm and authenticated by Lucasfilm Archives. Each custom-made Skywalker lightsaber is hand-assembled under the supervision of Icon's team of film industry professionals and comes complete with a registered certificate from the Lucasfilm Archives, a museum-quality display case, and a numbered plaque. Just like the original, the Skywalker lightsaber measures 10.5 inches long and weighs in at almost 4 pounds. Limited to an edition size of 10,000, the Skywalker lightsaber is the perfect way to celebrate the 20th anniversary of Star Wars. The display case is a great way to show off your new Star Wars treasure. It's bound to become the center of your sci-fi collection. The Skywalker lightsaber is going to become the new standard from which all other cool stuff is measured. And you can order yours right now for just $349.95 plus shipping and handling. Call 1-800-700-3060. This amazing chapter in movie history can be yours. Use hyperspeed to get to the phone and call cool stuff now. I'd like to see a special upgraded edition of this classic coming to theaters in January. You know the story. George Lucas writes a tall tale of adventure wrapped in mythology and is set in some far-off galaxy. Despite the fact that the only stars of the movie are in outer space, the film goes on to break every box office record. End of story, right? Well, not exactly. After being turned down by 2 studios, George Lucas met with conceptual artist Ralph McQuarrie in December of 1974 to discuss his science fiction project. You see, Lucas wanted McQuarrie to bring some of the scenes of the script to life with paintings that he could then show to the studio executives at 20th Century Fox. Sometimes a picture really is worth 1,000 words.
George's idea seemed very ambitious to me at the time when he brought the script and presented me with the idea of maybe doing these paintings. They just told me, go ahead and read the script, and when you come to something you like that would make a good illustration, we'll make some pencil sketches, and then George would come and see me every couple of weeks and look at what I was doing. He gave me very few words of instruction. He didn't tell me what color to make anything. He just gave me a few general bits of information about what he thought he'd like to see. And as I say, I don't think either one of us thought that these things would be very much like what was actually going to be in the film. The first one I did was 3PO crossing the desert. They just landed in this pod on Tatooine, and 3PO and R2 were coming across the sand towards you. And I did one of Darth Vader dueling with who I thought might be Luke. the sandcrawler with the Jawas, and 3PO and R2 were escaping from the sandcrawler into the moonlit night. I think the Tusken Raiders, I probably were one of them.
Much to Ralph's surprise, Star Wars was produced, and he was hired as both a matte painter and a conceptual artist to apply his unique visual spin to a variety of scenes and characters in the script.
I was the first artist and was pretty much working alone for most of the things I did for Star Wars. George came and we talked about Darth Vader, and I started sketching breathing mask, and I came up with one that looked sort of evil. It had a sort of wolf-like turned down nose, and I put some slots in this breathing opening that would look sort of like teeth. I made a painting showing the two fighters over the Death Star, and I sort of streamlined it a little bit more and gave it a little more of a sport car feeling, a fighter plane feeling that I liked. And this is the sketch for the first matte painting in the film, where we see the huge spaceships come over our head and head off over the horizon here. This is Tatooine. I did these, nobody had been cast yet as Luke or anybody, so I was making this up, you know. The costumes came out quite a lot like what I did in many instances. The Millennium Falcon started off, there was a design quite different from this. So we took that ship and made it the blockade runner, which I think we see on the first shot of the film. So George said, well, let's make it a little more off the wall. Let's take this cockpit and put it on the side, make it asymmetric. And Joe said, well, what do we do with these mandibles that hold the cockpit? Well, George said, well, just leave them there. That's okay. That's how they came to be.
Everything from stormtrooper helmets to Han Solo's boots to corridors in the Death Star have been brought to life by Ralph McQuarrie in Star Wars. He went on to work with George Lucas on Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi, building more new worlds. At its heart, Star Wars is an adventure story delivered with the speed of Han Solo's Millennium Falcon.
It was a great film from the standpoint of you never sort of stop thinking about what's going to happen next. You're always on the edge of your seat a little bit about what's going to happen next, and it sweeps along to a great finish, you know. And that's what makes a good film.
Although he has chosen not to work on the new Star Wars movies, McQuarrie's initial design sketches from 22 years ago are still part of the foundation for today's generation of artists at Lucasfilm.
I meet guys that are working now at Lucasfilm on the new films who got interested in this kind of design work looking at my stuff. And they're better than I am, by quite a bit. I thought it was a great idea. I loved the subject matter. And I fell right into it. It just felt like what I should be doing. I've never really grown up, I guess. I'm sort of a kid, you know, always dreaming about sort of a heroic action life, which I don't live in any way, shape, or form, except on paper.
Collecting a piece of film history is always fun. But for their Star Wars A New Hope lithograph collection, Willett's Design has set a new standard with the release of the Millennium Falcon from conceptual artist and designer Ralph McQuarrie.
We then went to Ralph and we presented the concepts that we wanted to do, and he was very excited about it. And it's printed on a very high quality stock. There's a two-color foil hit on it, and then there's a signing area for Ralph McQuarrie to sign. And in the left-hand corner of the lithograph is the actual film frame area where we die cut and insert that special film frame that goes onto that lithograph. There's also on the right-hand side, there's a scene that's printed from the movie. And what we did to kind of show people how close they actually got to capturing Ralph McQuarrie and George Lucas's idea is we captured the one part in the area of film that we collected for that lithograph, and we printed it in the right-hand corner, opposite of the left-hand corner where the film frame is. So and especially in the Millennium Falcon edition, it's astounding how close the original painting is to the actual image in the movie. In fact, the characters are even standing in their proper positions. So it's really amazing to see how close they were able to drive that artist's vision to the final image on film.
It's great. It's a fascinating piece of history to have, a kind of artifact actually from the film, and people seem to enjoy that.
The Millennium Falcon, Ralph McQuarrie signed and numbered limited edition lithograph with a lighted 70mm film cell can be yours for just $199.95 plus shipping. Just call 1-800-700-3060 and celebrate the 20-year reign of this sci-fi classic today. Okay, here's a look at the cool stuff from this week's show. The authentic Skywalker Lightsaber replica, the sword that crushed the Empire and brought light to the dark side of the Force. Order this remarkable collector's display item now. 2 signed KIRK trading cards, personally autographed by William Shatner. And finally, a classic Star Wars collectible, the Ralph McQuarrie signed limited edition lithograph Millennium Falcon with a lighted 70mm film cell. Now every week, 4 times a week, you can catch cool stuff on the Sci-Fi Channel. Cool stuff times 4 equals more shelf space for more cool stuff. And as all collectors know, space really is the final frontier. See you on my next orbit. Bye now.
On QVC.